Welcome to the Zoom Students Joining a Meeting tutorial presented by the Scarsdale School's Elementary Technology team. One thing to keep in mind, and it will solve most of your problems, is ensuring that students are always using their @scarsdaleschools.org account, and if they're on a Mac or PC, they're always using Chrome and using the People feature to make sure they stay within their own account. This tutorial will feature the People feature, Zoom on a Chromebook, Zoom on a Mac or PC, or Zoom on an iOS device. So first, the People feature. This is available on Chrome on a Mac or PC as a way to keep Google accounts completely separate and not run into conflicts between the two. On a Mac, you will use the People button from the top menu bar or the user icon in the top right corner. On a PC, that user icon in the top right corner might also be next to 3 vertical dots. Do not use the Add Account button, as that may create conflicts within the browser. By using that People feature from the top, which is also again located on the top right-hand corner near the user icon or the 3-dot menu, you can see a list of users installed on the device, or you can go down to the bottom and manage people. When you go to manage people, you will see all the different Google accounts that are being kept separate in separate windows on that single browser. If you need to add a person, like another student user, you can click Add Person. This keeps the accounts completely separate and avoids conflicts later on. Switching between is just as simple as going back to that People feature at the top and clicking on a different name, or going back to that user icon in the top right or those 3 dots, and again, just clicking on a different user. This ensures that all accounts are kept separate. Using Zoom on a Chromebook, students will log in with their @scarsdaleschools.org Google account. Click on the launcher in the bottom left. When that opens, they'll click that little caret to enlarge it. And they will see the Zoom app, even if this is a personal Chromebook. Since they logged in with their scarsdaleschools.org account, they will see the apps that the district installs for the user. Tap on Zoom to launch it. When it opens up, you will click the Sign In with Google button. We use Google Sign In for this, so you need to tap the Sign In with Google button first. Then you will put in your full @scarsdaleschools.org ID, then enter your password and click Next. You will know that you've logged into Zoom when you see your name in the middle as well as in the top left-hand corner. You can then go back to Google Calendar or a Google Doc or Google Classroom, wherever it is that your teacher shared the meeting ID with you. In this case, we're using Google Calendar, and I see that I have an event with a Zoom link. I click it, and it opens up to show me the Join Zoom Meeting link. Again, this link may be in Google Calendar for the students. It may be in a Google Doc. It could be in Google Classroom. Each teacher will tell the students where they will be sharing the link to the Zoom meeting. When you click on it, a blank tab will open up, which is completely normal while the app loads. When Zoom first opens up, you may see this sign in screen again. Just leave it alone for a second. You have already signed in. You've already logged in. It will kick over and say connecting. You do not need to click anything on that previous screen. It's taking a second to connect the user account to the meeting ID. And when it does, it'll say you're in. Join with video. Once again, it'll say connecting. This is completely normal as it is recognizing the user ID, it's recognizing the video stream, and then it's bringing all those together with the meeting. When you see the visuals, you know you're in the meeting. You'll see the other participants across the top. And at the bottom of the Zoom meeting screen are the different tools. These different tools will be used by students at a teacher's discretion and direction. Teachers may ask for students to mute the microphone or stop the video. It is entirely up to the teacher how the students will use those tools. Once the Zoom call is over, you may see this in that blank tab. Do not add anything to Chrome. You do not need to. Just close this tab and ignore what it says. If students are sharing a Chromebook, meaning more than one student uses the same device, they will need to log out by clicking on the time and then clicking the sign out button. When they get back to the login screen with the different users in the family, they either click on their own name and enter their password, or if they're not on the device, they click Add a Person to add themselves to the device. This keeps the different Google accounts and different Zoom meeting links separate. On a Mac or PC, it's similar. Parents will make sure that the app is downloaded from zoom.us/download and installed as a desktop client application on the machine. Students will sign in with Google just as they would on a Chromebook. Again, they'll enter their username, including the @scarsdaleschools.org. They'll enter their password and click next. It may ask if they want to accept or opt out. Click opt out and then create account. This is what it looks like on a Mac or PC when you know you're in. You have those 4 main icons. Once again, you can go back to Google Calendar or the Google Doc, Google Classroom, wherever the link is. You click on the link just like you would on a Chromebook. In this case, it opens up a new tab as well, but it also opens up a little pop-up box asking if you want to open up zoom.us. This is asking for it to install or run the app that you just installed. Again, once you see the video, you're in. When the call is over, you can close this extra tab. And if there are more than one user on that particular computer, even if you've used the people feature in Chrome to keep your Google account separate, you also need to make sure that you log out of the Zoom app as well. So if mom and dad and a couple of children all use the same device, once a user Zoom call is over, they need to go to the little user icon on the top right, click on it, and then sign out to make sure that the person using the Zoom app is the same person that clicked on the Zoom link. Because once you log out, then you can log back in as the next student or the parent, whoever needs to use Zoom next. On an iOS device, which is an iPad or an iPhone, it's very similar. Zoom Cloud Meetings is the app that will need to be downloaded and installed. When it opens up, click the sign in button, sign in with Google. It will ask you if you want to sign in, you tap continue. If there are other Google accounts already installed on the device, the app will recognize that those are already on the device and they will show them to you. If that is a student's device and the name is already in there, they can tap on it. If the student's Scarsdale Google account is not listed, then they can click use another account, enter their full Google ID, enter their password, click next, and then you will be given a series of choices. Zoom would like to send you notifications. It's entirely up to you. Those are those little pop-up notifications on your phone or your iPad telling you something's waiting or you have a meeting. Personally, I click don't allow, but that's entirely up to you. Then it'll ask you if you want to access your calendar. Again, that's a personal choice. I like it to access my calendar so I can be reminded of upcoming meetings. But again, a personal choice. The last one is Siri. Do you want to be able to give Zoom verbal instructions? Personal choice. I don't like to use Siri, but that's just me. So again, you have to make those personal choices based on the family usage of the iPad. Once you're in, it's going to look like this. Again, you can go back to the Google document, the calendar, the Google Classroom area, wherever it is that the link was given, and tap on the link or enter the join ID in order to access the meeting. And just like with any other platform, if more than one user will be using this device, go to settings in the bottom left, tap on the username at the top, scroll down to the bottom of the profile page and click sign out to ensure that the next user can use it cleanly. In closing, use Chrome on a Mac or PC, use the people feature to keep things separate. On a Chromebook, only one user should log in at a time. Always make sure you're using the proper Google account to access the meeting link, but also to log into Zoom. Most problems occur when there's a conflict between who's logged into Zoom and who's clicking on the meeting ID. And those could often be solved by just ensuring that you're using the same Google account for both. And always log out if you are sharing a device with somebody else. Thank you, and hope this helps in your future Zooming.